Hey everyone, welcome back to my chess channel. Today we're talking about the Bishop's Tour. Everybody knows about the Knight's Tour, right? That's where you start a knight on the chessboard anywhere you want, and you just go around the chessboard making moves until you've touched every square in 64 moves. And you can't go to squares that you used already. Bishop's Tour, slightly different because we only have half the squares to touch with one bishop. And we want to start on any starting square for a bishop. So f1, c1, c8, or f8. Because it's more challenging that way, and it's always better to challenge yourself than to take the easy way out, right? So we don't want to start in the corner or anywhere else because we want to, as a drill, just work with the bishop from where it starts. You'll see in a few minutes why we don't want to start in the corner. It's going to make it way too easy, and in some cases might make it too hard. So there's two ways to do the Bishop's Tour, an easy way and the hard way. We'll do the easy way last because you'll really appreciate the Bishop's Tour more by doing it the hard way first. At least that's how I think. I could be wrong, but let's talk about the difference between the easy and the hard way. Easy way, you are allowed to jump over previous moves, kind of like a knight does. So let's say if we were doing the easy way, our first move would be to g2, and we wanted to take out the corner next. Well, since we've been to g2 already, from h1 in the easy mode, we will be able to move through that move. But if we were doing it the hard way, by moving to g2 and h1 next, well, we're already stuck because we can't move past this. And that's true in chess, right? Bishops can't move over pieces. And that makes sense because when I do my drills, as you'll see in night school, I'll put pawns down after a piece moves just to keep track of where the piece went, okay? So let's say we start out in the hard mode and we go bishop g2 to h1. Well, our tour is very, very short and over because we can't jump over that piece. In the easy way, we could do that. We could just do bishop g2, bishop h1, and then just move on from there. And we've gotten these three squares taken care of. Sadly, that's not what we're doing today. We're going to do it the hard way because that is more fun. And I'm going to show you the way that I do it and the strategy, I guess, if there is one for this. I've tried it a few different ways before, and that is to do something like this, go all the way around the outside of the board, but eventually you'll get stuck. And the reason is you want to be able to handle this diagonal in a very efficient way. You're only going to get one or two chances to deal with those corners, and if you do it too early or too late, you're not going to get around the board. So this is the way that I do it. We're going to start out with bishop to a6. And the reason we're doing bishop to a6 first is because we want to leave this diagonal alone. And so a6 connecting to this long diagonal, we want to just get rid of it right away so that we don't hop to this square. As you saw right in the beginning, if we go to this square and then to the corner, we're stuck. So we're just going to leave that alone. Okay? Now that's a long bishop move. The next move is really short. Now we're going to do a little bit of hopscotching, just jumping around the board a little bit. Each move, we're putting a pawn where we were before. And the point of this is to never use a square you used before. Okay? And once you see the easy way to do it, you're going to appreciate this a lot more. Now these are all bishop moves. They're short little moves, but they are bishop moves, believe you me. Okay, so now you can see what I'm doing here. I'm trying to leave this long diagonal alone. And the reason I'm leaving it alone is because I want to take it out in two passes. Okay, if you can pause the video right now and try to figure out my game plan for right now, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, keep watching. Okay, welcome back. So now the next move is bishop to d3, and then bishop to c4. Now, what are we going to do about this long diagonal here? Because if we jump in too close and go to the corner next, remember there's only one way to get to the corner, and that's on the long diagonal. If we start in too close, like in this square, and then go to the corner, we're going to be stuck. So I found a way to do this, moving to d5 and taking out the corner now, and then doing this little, what you call it, I'm not sure, a little maneuver. It's important that we come out of b7 because we want to take out the edge of the board also. Okay, now we have a few squares left and we want to finish up this diagonal, right? My goal is to end on h1. So there's probably a few different ways to do this, but I figured out a pretty cool way to do it. And we're on the same square we started on, like on f1. Okay, and our first move was all the way to the edge. And that's important because we want to save that diagonal for the end. So let's just do the same thing now. Bishop to h3. Okay, and now it's pretty much the same thing I did on the other side. Just repeating that pattern. Can you see what's happening? Can you see my plan here? If you can, that's awesome. If you can't, you'll understand it pretty soon. Now, there is a pretty clear path for this bishop to take. All we got to do is fill in the blanks. Okay, it's a cool little puzzle related to some math puzzles, related to the Knights Tour. But all it really is pattern recognition, which we use all the time in chess. And the reason this way works is because I basically took one pattern and copied it twice. We started on f1 and moved all the way to a6. Came back around the outside. Took out half of this diagonal here. And then repeated the thing on the other side. And that's really all it is. Okay, so that is the that is the hard version. Let's do the easy version. This is where you can jump over your previous moves, okay? And this is going to go really fast. This time I'm only going to use the circles because it's so easy you're not even really going to need your pawns. So we can really start with any move, but let's start with bishop to h3. Okay. Bishop to h3. Oh, crap. You know what? Let's do it this way. Bishop to h3. Bishop to g2. Bishop to h1. Bishop to a8. b7. a6. c8. We're just going to be closing in like the garbage crusher on Star Wars. These are all bishop moves, and we're able to jump over the moves we made already. This is a real easy way to do it. And now you can appreciate more the hard version because you can't go over your previous moves. Let's finish this up nice and quick. All bishop moves, all white squares. And that is the Bishop's Tour. The hard way and the easy way. Thanks for watching. keep playing chess.